Yeah, they're drilling again. I wanted to make a video anyway, even if it's during the drilling. So a lot's been happening. Yesterday I went to do the laundry, and a woman came in. The laundry room. There are two areas. There's the area where the washers and dryers are, and then there's the kind of lounge area. It's not really a lounge, but where you can just sit and wait. You know, they have chairs, whatever. And they're separated. You can't. There's a door right between the two areas, so you can't always, unless you're looking through the door, you can't always see what's happening, you know, by the washers and dryers. Right. So she went in there for she was there for less than a minute, and then she walked out. I was curious. I was wondering what she was doing. I figured maybe she had forgotten something there, right? And I've seen her before, right? We know each other by name. Well, I forgot her name. She knows mine, because she addressed me by name when she said hi. So later then, when I went to my clothes had been in the dryer at that point. So later when I went to take my clothes out of the dryer, I noticed I had opened one of the dryer where I expected to find something in particular, and it wasn't there. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? I put it there, right? And then after I opened the other dryers, I had, I had the other dryer. I had one other dryer. It was in that one. I did not put it in that one. I am not going insane. Well, I might be going insane, but I'm not that crazy. I'm not that forgetful. I did not put that particular item, and it was a big item. You know, it's not like something like a sock or something that you can have, just, you know, you can accidentally, you know, throw in with other clothing. No. This is what they do. This is how they fuck with you. She literally took that out of one dryer and put it in the other just to fuck with my head. I know how crazy it sounds, but this is the shit they do. Another thing, a few days ago, I was walking, and I wasn't sure whether I wanted to walk or take, call rideshare. I figured I would walk part way, and I wish I hadn't. This guy, so as I was walking, and I was walking past a shopping center. I wasn't going there, but I just had to walk past it. And this guy was walking toward me. He was white. I think he had I don't remember exactly. He might have had sandy blonde hair. He was about my height, maybe. He was walking toward me, and as he passed, he called me out under his breath, something really bad. I'm not going to say what it was, but it was really bad, and I don't know him, okay? And this is not the case of, sometimes they'll come by and they'll whisper, something that shows that they know me personally, though I don't know them. Sometimes they'll say hi, and then they'll include my former name, right? Because I've changed my name. I don't know them, so how the hell do they know my old name, or even any name at all, right? So it would be showing me that they're following me, right? But this time he didn't do that. He just whispered a slur, right? Fuck. Right. So I turned around, and I started shouting back at him. I was really angry, and I started calling him bad things right in return, right? And he was walking away as if nothing had happened, as if he hadn't said anything at all. And I'm the one standing there shouting, looking like I just flipped out over nothing. Because he didn't snare at me when he said it. He didn't, furl his eyebrow or look angry when he called me, the thing that he called me. He kept a straight face. So it doesn't look like he said anything or did anything. So when I got angry, it looked like I flipped out over nothing. Gets worse. As I turned around, I see people in a car. There are two people in a white car. I don't know if one looked familiar. I'm thinking, shit, do I know them? I hope not. Because they just saw me flip out, but they didn't hear what he actually said to me first, right? The guy who was walking by. So I walked, and I walked on. I kept walking straight, and then they got out. They didn't get out of the car. They drove. They backed out of the parking area where they were in, and they drove around and exited the shopping center parking lot and stopped right in front of me, because I was about to cross the exit path, right, the ramp out. I was to the other side of the sidewalk. So they stopped right there, and they stood there for a minute looking at me laughing, and I'm thinking, do I know them? Because some people, you only see with masks, so when you see them without a mask, you're not really sure if that's the person. But Then I'm thinking, oh shit, I hope that's not who I think it is. Because the woman in the car looked a lot like one of the physical therapists that come to see my mom. She was with someone else, I'm not sure, and they were laughing and looking at me, and then they drove off. I hope it's not. That's just what I don't fucking need, right? But that would be set up that way. That's what they do. That's why they do it, right? Whoever's hunting me. Anyway, what else is going on? All right, so a little over a week ago, I had to take my mom. It was actually before the new year, just before the new year. I had to take my mom to the hospital for a test, and so she went. Her doctor ordered the test. She went, and when we got home, she was complaining. She said that she was really, she didn't like them, that they hurt her, that they were terrible, and she just kept saying they really, 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 really hurt her. It happened. So the next day, her hand was black and blue from the IV they put in, but that happens to all of us. I mean, that happens to me too. And she's elderly, so it might be worse with her. But, when she says they really hurt her, I don't know, because she's always complaining about some pain somewhere. I'll take her to the doctor. They'll check it out. It's nothing. We get home. Either she'll wait a week and not say anything, and then she'll start again, or the very next day or 2 days later, oh, I have to go to the doctor because of this. We just got back from the doctor. There was a woman in the building too, and this was years ago, who barely nudged her, walked by, and she started screaming. My mom started screaming that she hurt her. So she barely nudged her. So when she says that they were, that they hurt her, I don't know whether or not they did. Like, I don't want to take her somewhere where they're going to be rough with her, or worse, intentionally harm her. But at the same time, I don't know whether I can take her seriously, whether it's actually the case. She'll do it with a physical therapist. She'll do it with the nurse that came in, and she'll say that, that really hurts, that and then they'll ask her, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is it, what is the pain like? And she'll say 1,000, right? But there's nothing there. There's no bruise. There's nothing, and they barely touched her. So it's difficult to know with her. And I don't know, because, so anyway, the doctor called back, and they want her to go for another test at that same place. But before we get to that, so when we got home that day too, this is crazy. When we got home, I went into the kitchen, and I noticed that there was it looked like a little fruit fly or something flying around. And then I saw another one, and then another one, and then another one. Just all of a sudden, the fruit flies. Just they weren't there before. So I don't know. Anyway, they want her to go back to that same hospital for another test. She doesn't want to go. But it's a pretty serious issue. It's over a pretty serious issue. So I don't know. I mean, I scheduled the test. I'm going to take her to speak with the doctor who's going to be performing it. But if she still doesn't want to have it, I'm not going to force her. I'm gonna leave it up to her. So yeah, I don't know. Everything is getting difficult. Anyway, I haven't really been making videos, and since the new year, I've kind of been just out of it. I'm not really able to cope very much lately. It's getting rough. Still not much sleep. She's she's still waking up in the middle of the night, claiming she sees things, or there are demons and stuff in her bed, and she still gets up on and off all night to go back and forth to the toilet, and she'll be kind of hissing under her breath about demons and Satan, and it's a studio, so not getting much sleep. Anyway, Happy New Year.